Raw took place tonight in Memphis, Tennessee. Unfortunately, the show started off with the Usos, and right when I saw them, I immediately wanted to turn off Netflix because I am so sick of the Yeet. Jay is one of the worst wrestlers in the whole company. I really don't want to see his act anymore. I'm beginning to just hate the Yeet, especially after what he did at the Royal Rumble, yeeting in the Rumble. Then before that, he yeeted in War Games at Survivor Series. I'm just sick of it. Thankfully, as they were making their entrance through the crowd, they were interrupted by the Vision. One of the only times I look forward to a Vision promo. Quickly, it's a basic bitch promo, not much to say about it. Adam Pearce interrupts them, telling them to leave, and then LA Knight comes out. He challenged them to a six-man tag team match. Playa. Usos continue to yeet afterwards, and then I guess I noticed that Jey Uso is now trying to be Tupac by wrapping a yeet towel around his forehead. That's how Tupac Shakur used to do it, so I guess that's his thing. He's now Tupac. He really is such a wannabe hip-hop star, and oh, it sucks so bad. He actually thinks he's a big-time hip-hop star. That's how he probably thinks. He's that bad. Anyway, also, before I get to this six-man tag team match, it was basically a throwaway. I wanted to mention that Bianca Belair announced on her Instagram that she's going to be undergoing finger surgery tomorrow. So she's almost assuredly going to miss WrestleMania. Unless it's all a ruse and she makes a miraculous, appearance and she comes at the Chamber or something like that. That's not going to happen. She's out. Bianca's out. She's not going to be at Elimination Chamber, and she's not going to be at WrestleMania. Who would have thought that injury she had last year would keep her out for an entire year? It's a disaster, but she's finally having surgery, and just hopefully she's back at least sometime after WrestleMania. But no EST for WrestleMania this year. So we get the six-man tag team match, LA Knight and the Usos against the Vision. So Bronson Reed pinned Jimmy after a tsunami. There was a whole bunch of action. Barricade spot. Didn't really care much, to be honest. After the match, Logan Paul puts on the headset and he cuts a promo. And I'm thinking, oh, is this directed to the Bunny, Bad Bunny? He called him out at the Super Bowl last week, and he's been teasing it. I was thinking, oh, is that what it's going to be toward? No. It's quick, and then the masked man curb stomps him, and he gets stomped into the announce booth, so he gets taken out there. The masked man then runs away. He escapes into the crowd as the Vision chases after him. And then we go backstage, and we have a crate shipped to WWE, not to be opened until February 28th, 2026, date of the Elimination Chamber. Adam Pearce told the guy who delivered the crate to send it to SmackDown. Let it be Nick Aldis' problem. What is this crate? Who is in the crate? Is it the Red Rooster? Is he going to make his return? I don't know. Chainsaw Charlie. It's him. Terry Funk's gone. Rest in peace, Terry Funk. The living legend, but I don't know. He was such an icon, man. I wasn't making videos when he died, but if he passed away, I would have done a tribute to Terry Funk, R.I.P. Terry Funk. But no Chainsaw Charlie. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, there's nothing they can do. It's going to be a big angle now at the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be part of the show. The problem is there's no way in hell they're going to ever top the angle they did last year at the Elimination Chamber. When John Cena turned heel, and I'm not talking about the awful heel run, the initial heel turn. There's no way they can ever top that, so we'll see what it is. But it has to be something. It has to be something significant. It better be at least. So the Americanos, Kaiser with the Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate were out next. They were complaining to Adam Pearce backstage about not being in an Elimination Chamber qualifier, and then the Americano wants an Intercontinental title shot. Adam Pearce gives it to him. Don't really care at all, so he's going to get a chance to qualify for one, and if he wins, he'll get a IC title shot. We get a video promo featuring Natalya, Natty now, Bayley, and Asuka ahead of their Elimination Chamber triple threat qualifying match. Then we go to a break, and during the break, this is for Netflix, the international viewers, Kathy Kelly, wearing a hot black dress, as she usually does. She's interviewing the El Grande Americano Chad Gable version in front of the live crowd. He cuts a promo in English in Memphis, and then he finishes off with the gracias. It's obvious now because he's completely dropped the act. He's not even talking. He's trying to use like a Spanish accent anymore. He's simply just talking as El Grande Americano, as Chad Gable in his accent, his American accent, and it's pretty obvious now where this is heading. I think he's going to be unmasked, and then the El Grande Americano Ludwig Kaiser version will just be the one Americano, and he's just going to be primarily featured more so in AAA. I think that's why WWE really created the character in the first place. They want this big American lucha star for AAA, and a lot of them, the fans in AAA, seem to be really into it. So I think Gable's going to be done, and then he's going to like do this redemption arc to how he shouldn't have been El Grande Americano, and now he's going to, maybe he's going to try to beat Gunter. I don't know. That's not going to happen. But I think at least he'll probably win the U.S. title one day. He can be the one to beat Dom. So Asuka was out next, then Natty, and then Bayley was out last. She was the most over here, I have to say. We get our Women's Elimination Chamber Triple Threat qualifying match, Asuka, Bayley, Natty. So Asuka won after she submitted Bayley to the Asuka lock. Match was pretty good, but what, the winner wasn't guaranteed. I thought Natty was going to probably win. I didn't think Bayley had any shot. I thought Asuka could have a shot, but they went with Asuka, which is fine. I guess it makes sense because they're doing the most with her in terms of storyline with Kairi, and I don't know if they're going to have Kairi mess up again since Kairi already cost her the Rumble. She messed up there, so I guess Kairi's going to mess up again and cost her the Chamber in about 2 weeks in Chicago. I think that's probably where we're heading. But Asuka won the match. She submitted Bayley. Then when Natty is leaving, she's jumped by Maxine Dupree, and unfortunately it sets up another match between the two of them, which, to be honest, I really don't want to see again. I'm over that feud. Adam Pearce tries to sign Oba Femi in his office. Oba says he needs more time to decide. And then Rusev walked in. He stared down Oba. So I guess Rusev is a good jobber for Oba to squash. He's practically a tomato can. It's what they give to boxers whenever they need to give them an easy fight. This is like what it is. Oba Femi is going to use Rusev as a tomato can. That's all it is. He's a lamb to the slaughter, basically. Michael Cole was interviewing Liv Morgan, and this is a backstage sit-down interview. Dom joins the interview quickly, and Liv says that she's not rushing the decision. Then Stephanie Vaquer walks in the room and cuts a promo, like a scathing promo on Liv in Spanish, and she goes back and forth with Dom. They speak Spanish, and what's happening is, as Stephanie is cutting this really good promo, which I don't understand, Dom is translating it to Liv, and Liv can understand, but like Dom is speaking really low as Stephanie is speaking, so we can't really understand what Dom is saying to Liv because Stephanie is talking over him, over her. Oh, she's talking over him, but we don't really know what we can't make out everything she's saying. So once Liv reacts she sells it really well, and Liv is like, she looks like she's hurt by it. Like, it looks like she looks very startled. She even begins to cry. Stephanie makes Liv cry here. And, like, I guess Stephanie was just very intense, and Liv sold it really well. We don't know exactly what Stephanie said, but then WWE said that they translated everything on their YouTube account, so the video is up there. And I guess it's to bring more clicks to their channel. But we really don't know everything Stephanie said to Liv, but I have to say, I thought Liv sold it really well here. And part of me doesn't want to see a translation because it's probably not going to be something generic, like not anything that's going to be shocking or anything. And in a way, like the fact that there's the mystery of we don't know what she said, most of us watching who don't understand Spanish, I actually think it adds to it. So I actually don't want to watch it. I think Stephanie's promo is actually... It makes it better. It makes it a better promo with the fact that most of the audience doesn't know exactly what she said, and the way Liv sold it, and like we don't know exactly what Dom was telling her. We can make out some of it, not all of it. I just think it added to it. I really like this a lot, and I'm not that excited about this match. It's not like the kind of match I would book, but you know what? This was a very good promo to set it up. CM Punk was out next. When he come back from break, he's in the ring. He cuts a promo on before he's interrupted by Finn Balor, who was joined by Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Punk just cuts a basic promo on Finn, not much here, just to set up their match. Here's the thing: this Raw is going head-to-head with the Olympics. They're going to get hurt by the viewership for Netflix. It's just a throwaway Raw. Memphis, I mean, there was no Jerry the King Lawler, I have to say. I thought they might at least bring him out, but I hear he's in poor health. Hopefully the King gets better, but there was at least one reference to him. They didn't outright say his name. It would have been cool if he would. Maybe that could be his last appearance. Hopefully not, but would have wished he could have at least been part of it because he's such a legend in Memphis. But this show really, it's a throwaway show. Memphis isn't a huge market anymore for wrestling. You know, these other cities that they're booked. Next week in Atlanta is going to be a priority over Memphis. And, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, the promo Punk cut on Finn was basic. Didn't really care much for it. We go backstage, and Byron Saxton is interviewing both Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And then Kairi Sane and Asuka walk up to them. Kairi mocks them. Kairi says they'll make sure they'll never win. And Asuka starts yelling at Kairi. Io is the one who's trying to talk to Kairi, and Asuka keeps yelling at her. And she cuts a promo on Rio. Is what it was. Not much here. It feels like I've seen this a million times. After that, the Americanos were out next, and this is the Kaiser Americanos. And then the Ludwig Kaiser Americano took on Penta. So Chad Gable interferes, and it costs it helps Penta win the match. Then after the match, I'm just going to say it. Gable beat up Kaiser. He beat him down. I don't give a shit about this at all. They're just going to do the unmasking. They've been teasing it for a while. Just get it over with and be done with it. I really don't care about this. So we go backstage, and Liv is really sad. She's laying on the couch with Dom, and she's down after what Stephanie said to her. And then she goes off with Raquel. No Roxanne, by the way. I think Roxanne, I know she got hurt at the Rumble or the SmackDown before the Rumble when she broke her nose in that women's tag match, I think. I think that's what it is for Roxanne. It's not noticeable too much because people might forget about it because she actually appeared in the Rumble the night after. But I think that's what's going on with her. I think it's a nose injury. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it's like she's been off for a while. I miss Roxanne. Anyway, then the men start arguing. JD, Finn, and what's the other guy? Dom, and JD's yelling at Finn. I don't care. He's not going to beat Punk. Who cares? So AJ Lee was out next. She says she loves the Divas title. She referenced that horrible title. She says she wants to wrestle everyone, mentioned all the big names in the women's division. But then she said all roads lead to Becky. She calls her out, and Becky is then, oh, I guess you speak of the devil, and she shall appear. She cuts her usual promo. AJ challenges her to get in the ring. Becky hesitates, but eventually gets in. AJ's basically giving her a free shot. People online, from what I've read on X, don't like this segment. I actually kind of like it. I liked it a lot better than last week. I hated last week's segments. This week, I actually thought it was a lot better here. I thought AJ was a lot better, and I thought she was really intense. She's giving Becky a shot. Becky looks like she's going to do it. She hesitates, but then she eventually backs off, and she can't bring herself to do it because she's afraid, she's scared of AJ. The whole thing is AJ is in her head. She blows her a kiss to mess with her. AJ did. And I thought AJ was pretty intense here. A lot of people don't like the segment. I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was so much better than last week, which I hated the opening segment for Raw last week between these two. I thought this was much better. And, the match, I don't have high expectations for this match or probably their rematch at WrestleMania, to be quite honest. But I didn't mind the segment. A lot of people don't like it. I thought it was fine. Backstage, Adam Pearce is called by the Vision after Logan was assaulted. Paul tells him he has to do something about the Masked Man. Bronson Reed says he'll do something. Then we go in front of the live crowd. Kathy Kelly is there again in her hot dress, and she's interviewing Maxine Dupree. And Maxine just cuts a promo on Natty. She screams. I'm really not that into Maxine, not a big fan. They preview next week's show in Atlanta, and the big news is AJ Styles will appear in Atlanta next week. It's his home state of Georgia, and this is big because people thought AJ might leave WWE. He might go to AEW or something. News like this tells you he's probably not going anywhere. Maybe he's going to come out and do a long retirement speech. That's where I think it has to be, and that's where he should retire, in Atlanta, do his speech. John Cena didn't really do a retirement speech. I guess AJ Styles can do his big retirement speech in his home state, and he'll be super over, and that's going to be a great moment next week to look forward to. Then we go to the main event, men's triple threat elimination chamber qualifying match. Dominic Mysterio versus Gunther versus Javon Evans. So Dragon Lee took out Gunther by hitting him in the head with the ring bell. Then Javon Evans pins Dom after an OG Kyler, and he is in the Elimination Chamber. Okay, whatever. Not much to say here. Match was all right. I'm glad Javon won. Gunther shouldn't have won, and it's good that he didn't get pinned because if he won, he's not going to get a title shot this year at WrestleMania, so it makes sense not to have him involved. I don't know what he's doing. I guess it's going to be Rey Mysterio. I don't think Rey's retiring at WrestleMania, but I'm guessing Gunther's facing Rey. I think he's going to kill Dragon Lee. It's going to set up him and Rey at Mania. I think that's where we're heading for Gunther. So, it is what it is. Not that excited, to be honest. This was a filler episode of Raw. It's going head-to-head with the Olympics. The viewership's going to be down, so that's what it was here. Not much to say about this Raw. Again, a lot of people don't like the AJ Becky stuff. I liked it. But the show I didn't think was much tonight. I just thought it was such a filler show, such a forgettable show. It's that kind of show you can just like read about it on a recap on some website, never watch it, and like know what happened, and like just by next week you will forget everything that happened on this show. It's like that much of a filler show. Not even next week, in 48 hours, you're gonna forget the show even happened. It was a nothing show, to be honest. It wasn't awful. It was just filler. But that was Raw tonight, and we are now, I guess, 12 days away from the Elimination Chamber in Chicago as we continue on the road to WrestleMania. You know, when we're on the road, especially when we're before the Chamber, it's kind of like on the back roads. You know, when you're going to go on a big road trip and you're traveling, you're on the back roads for a while. That's where we are right now. We're still on the back roads. Before we get onto the main highway, then to the freeway, and then it gets into the fast lane to WrestleMania. But we're definitely on the back roads here on the road to WrestleMania.